Good Sunday afternoon, everybody.
Hey, I've, I'm here. I finally made it.
It's
I
Claire's
found my
fault.
way. I found my. It is my fault. It is all my fault. You can't blame it on Jane today. It's all me.
It was all her this today. So if you can't tell, I am not feeling so well. I am a little under the weather. I have been for the last couple days now. Sinuses took the crud test today and it was negative, so that's good.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I'm glad to hear that it was negative, but I'm not happy to hear that you're not feeling well.
yeah,
Oh,
my face has been leaking for 3 days.
oh,
Hard to
that's
breathe, can't sleep. You know,
no. I hear you. That's
damn
terrible.
sinuses and yeah. So, hello to everybody in the chat. Hello. Uh, it is afternoon. It's 1 o'clock here for us.
Mm-hmm.
Today is part five. This is the investigation begins into the JonBenet Ramsey case.
Yes.
We're gonna look at it's a website. It's called Boulder. The Daily Camera is from the Boulder News Ramsey archive. I will
Right.
post
I've
this.
got that up. It's got the chronology from
Yep.
December 25th through December 31st.
And then each month following through 97.
Yep, all the way. So we're going to cover that all today. And you let
Yeah.
me know. You're all stuffy. Whatever you want me to read, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it, especially since I was late. I got to be extra nice to you today.
So I do have a couple announcements I do want to make. I want to say
Mhm.
congratulations to Claire for hitting that 1K.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Thank you. Yeah.
Was I not supposed to say something?
No, it's just that like every time somebody says it, like I can't believe it. Like
Oh,
I'm still it's been a long time and I just didn't expect it. And I actually have to give like all the credit to Ranty over
yep.
at Auditing the Absurd because he shouted me out so much and everybody there has been so generous in checking out my content and coming over to the streams and they just pushed me over the edge. Like I just needed that last hump and it was really nice. He's a great guy, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of help.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. So anybody here who hasn't subbed to Jay yet, please do it because we need to get him up and get him to a community tab at least, so that he can do his advertising and all because he does a lot of the similar content and we do a lot of
And,
things together. And even though he hates coffee. He disses my pineapple pizza. He argues with me about my food choices on a regular basis and tries to discredit everything about me. I still like the guy. He's pretty cool. I don't know why, but you should sub because he's quite entertaining. And he loves this true serial stuff. So if you love true crime and you're not following him, you're going to be missing out.
Yeah, I also the channel here we actually hit 102 subs, so we
Yay.
broke the 100 mark. So
Congratulations on that.
I just got to remember to go in and put the URL in.
Yes, now you can get your own custom
URL.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yay. Cool.
So I just got to remember to do that at some point.
Well, you're sick. I'll try to, you know what? I'll write it down. Not that, wait, if I put it in the calendar, I'll see it. I'll put it on our next visit. And that way, our next appointment is what, Monday, 10 o'clock?
Monday, 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Are you going to be okay? Because, I mean,
no, I'll be all right. I just have to sit here and read, so it's not like I'm, running around doing stuff. So
it's kind of hard to read with a stuffy nose stuff sometimes. So whatever you want me to do. But
so like I said, this is part 5. So far we've covered everything leading up to the beginning of the investigation. Last week we talked about the finding of the body, the way the police seriously mishandled the beginning of the case. I'm gonna walk you through some crime scene photos before we go into the chronology. So we're gonna do that real quick. There is nothing bad in these crime scene photos because if you remember right, her body was actually taken upstairs before the crime scene photos were taken, and she was actually out of the house before they started taking pictures. So we don't have any pictures of the body. We don't have to worry about that. There's nothing that we need to worry about. So So we're going to share some pictures with you today. So this is the first one, and I can actually blow these up this time. This is, and I'm not exactly sure why this picture was taken. This is the Ramsey's bedroom. This is the master bedroom.
Was it because that's where the parents were supposedly when the
Yeah.
event happened? And is it because they found evidence in there of where
Not
the
that-
pad and the pen were?
Yeah, but I just don't understand this shot. I mean, I could understand a shot of where the notepad was or something, because I have all the crime scene photos that have been released, and that shot with the notepad is not in here. So it's kind of odd to me here.
Yeah.
But it's a nice looking bedroom.
It is. I like that big. That's a big bed. That's a king.
That is a big bed. Yeah.
I like that it's in an alcove too. I could sleep well there, like all like tucked in. It's tucked in, you know.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't look as ritzy as you think a rich.
No, it doesn't. When you look at the rest of this house,
sorry, it looks like I could actually own that room. And
Yeah,
I'm not well off, so like I could actually be there. That's a little weird.
Yeah, when we go through the rest of these photos, you'll notice that this house, it's not that it's messy; it's lived in.
It's lived in, right?
For someone whose company just broke $1 billion, you'd think it'd have been a little more dolled up, I guess.
You would, yes,
Yeah.
I think you got a point there. I do. I'm a little.
But some people are like that. Like if I had money, my house wouldn't be all dolled up. But I may have a couple of things here and there, but it wouldn't look like what you see on TV, like pimp my crib or whatever.
Pimp my crib. I never caught that show. What channel is that on? Like where do I
used to be on MTV. It was Pimp My Ride and Cribs.
Pimp My Ride and Pimp My Crib. Okay.
No, it was just Cribs. It was just Cribs.
Oh, so it wasn't Pimp My Crib. No. Okay. All right.
But it was but there was Pimp My Ride.
Okay. All right. You're cracking me up.
So this is the basement. This is part of the basement.
Okay.
Which
is a crime scene.
Yeah, this is part of the crime scene. Now this is the basement wall print. Now this is actually part of the evidence here. If you look right here,
there's a stain.
It's actually a scuff mark.
Okay, and that is from climbing in and out of the window.
Yep, from climbing in and out of the window. So that's an actual scuff mark on the wall.
Look at me being a detective.
Yeah, this is now see this here. This is number 235. This is the actual photo number.
Okay, so they took 235 photos so far. Okay.
Yeah, but mind you, we don't have all of them. These are the only ones that were actually let out. So there's some stuff. But this one is in particular. If you look right here,
is that the window in the corner?
That is actually, we'll get to that in just a second. That is actually something called the butler's door. But this right here is a baseball bat.
Why is there a baseball bat outside of the house?
Well, Burke is 9, so it's not uncommon.
But on the side of the house,
that was a little weird.
It's not uncommon for Burke to have a baseball bat, or anybody actually to have a baseball bat. I mean, sports, stuff, activities outside, learning how to play, kids, whatever. But to have it laying next to a drain on the side of the house, like weird.
Yeah. So this is the boiler room. This is just offside. If I remember right, in the layout of the basement, it is a room next to the wine cellar.
Right.
This was a window here. This is what they were focusing on, was the windows when they took this photo. Obviously, you see this one is closed. This is Burke's room.
Yes. Okay. That looks very, boyish with the. What are those canoes on the wall? What is that? Or sports? It's some kind of sportsy thing.
Looks like airplanes, from what I can see.
Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now this is the butler door. This is just outside.
Right. Okay.
This is. It is.
Gin says there's no Pratt chain to it. Gin, I love
Yeah, there's no Daniel Pratt chain to the water
There's
heater.
no Daniel Pratt chain to the water heater. Okay.
Now this butler door leads outside by the basement window. Here's another picture
Okay.
of the butler door.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
All right, so it's full size. Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Oops, that's a ransom note. Okay,
Yeah,
now
we-
here's this
yeah.
this next couple pictures. These are the actual footprints found just outside the window,
Outside in the dirt, right?
out in the dirt. Yep. And
in the
now
dirt.
none of these tracks matched any of the shoes or boots in the Ramsey family.
No, they didn't, but they did match that guy that killed himself, the shoes that he was wearing.
Yep.
Didn't you tell me that last week?
Yeah, it was the same type, same brand of shoe.
Right. Okay.
Here's just another picture of that.
Mm-hmm. These are some good impressions. Good soft dirt out there. That's a good tread mark. Look at that. They're going to be able to match that up by today's forensics very well, right?
Yeah,
that's a good one.
And then this one here.
Hmm.
This is the house backyard.
That's the back door.
That's the back door. That's
okay.
Not to be confused with the butler door.
Yeah, the butler door is separate. The butler door has transom windows on both sides, right?
And leads into the kitchen on the ground
and leads
floor.
right into the kitchen on the ground floor. Yep. And this one is the back door, which leads into what room? What's on the side there? That's the family room there.
I think it's the family room, if I remember right. Now this is JonBenet's room. This is the only room in the house that was sealed off. When they started the investigation, this is the only room they sealed off. They didn't seal off anything else, only her room.
Okay, so her bed pillow is not where it normally is. She obviously was taken out of bed because they put her in bed, right?
Yeah, they put her to bed. Yeah.
Right. So, the room's a bit messy with the blankets and the pillow.
Yeah, but she was, she's just a little girl. So, this is just another picture of her bed. Oops, what was that one? Okay, yep, it just flashed. This is if I remember right, this one is actually
a guest room, or
no, it's still her bedroom,
but it's prior to.
She had two beds. It looks like it appears. Yeah.
Oh, it's the second bed. Oh, a lot of small children have that for guests and so sleepovers and things. Yeah.
So this is the second bed in her room.
Okay.
Oh, and then that's a better picture you can see between the two.
Yeah, we can see there's two beds. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Now, this is significant because this right here, this is a paint tray. Now, the garrote that was used to strangle her was actually used. They actually tied a rope around a paintbrush and used that to twist to get the strangulation.
Oh gosh! So they took the paintbrush out of there.
Yep. The paintbrush come out of here. I'm not sure exactly why this part is circled. I couldn't find any information other
maybe
than
that's the same kind of paintbrush, or maybe there was a fingerprint found there.
Yeah. This looks to me this looks like a busted paintbrush. But yeah, I don't know there. Now this is the spiral staircase. On the third step right here is where she found the letter. The Ramsey note laid out was right here on the third
like
step.
Somebody just walked in and just placed it.
Yep. I will. So something we didn't cover last week because I completely forgot about it, but I remember when I was reading some stuff today that we'll get into in just a minute. They actually found a practice letter.
Oh, they did?
They did, in the same house on the same pad, but written with a different pen, and we'll get to that here in just a little bit.
Okay, same pad? The practice letter was on the same pad. Well, that kind of shoots the theory that they wrote the letter before and then came there and did it. That just shoots it all to hell, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Now, this is the suitcase. I mean, we heard about the suitcase. They believe that they used the suitcase to get back out of the window. And this is the actual window that they came in through.
That makes sense because the suitcase would make it high enough to be adequate with the leg and the scuff mark.
Yep, and there's the scuff mark there. So to climb in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another picture of the window. Now this window was broken. Um,
Okay.
from what I remember,
Prior? The
yeah,
window was broken
prior.
prior?
Yeah,
Okay.
John hadn't meant to fix it, but hadn't got around to it because of the holiday type thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly was broken on it. I just remember there's something saying it was broken, but I don't remember exactly what.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Juju
yeah,
says,
Juju,
yeah,
I
I
understand,
know.
but
Yeah.
there's only so much.
That's why, but we're divulging it now and we haven't
Yeah,
solved the case. So, like, we're telling you, he's telling you, but you could put it on the list of things that we can hold against Jay at a later date.
yeah. So here's the outside of the basement window, where they believe the killer crawled in through.
Okay.
It's just off there to the side there, and then this is the window grate just off that
Mm-hmm.
goes over top there. So that actual, from
All
what I
right.
know, so this window grate was there, but the window grate that should have been here wasn't there.
Oh, so they got into, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the crime scene photos we have. That's the only ones that have been publicized, and those were publicized when they weren't supposed to. They weren't. Those photos were not supposed to be given out.
All right. Aniceto said it's definitely Colonel Mustard in the library with a knife.
No, Miss Scarlet in the billiard room with the candlestick.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going with either one. I'm not going. Mm-mm. I
So,
can't wait for Theory Day.
all right. So we're gonna get into the chronology.
Okay.
If you want to start, we're gonna.
Gonna
We're on
pull it up.
December.
Okay. We're on December 25th, right?
Yeah, we're actually
Okay.
gonna start at 1:05 p.m.
Wait a minute.
So 1, 2, 3,
Wait,
4, fifth one down.
that's on the 26th, though, not the 25th.
Yeah, the 26th. Sorry, not the 25th.
Okay. All right. That's what was confusing me. All right. So we're going to start. You got that pulled up. Okay. So December 26th, 1996, at about 1:05 p.m., John Ramsey, JonBenet's father, and Fleet White, a family friend, discover the girl's body in the basement after police recommend they search the home. Police say JonBenet was not stabbed or shot, but won't disclose how she died. Addendum for 12/27/96. Missing girl found dead. 6-year-old was reported kidnapped earlier in the day. I guess these are
Yeah,
headlines.
these are headlines. So if you like, if you're following along with us and you see something that's interesting that you want to take a look at, if you click on that link, what it actually does, it takes you over to another.
Did you? All right, hold on.
I did, but I already had it pulled up on something else. So
No,
if you look
I'm
here, yeah,
I'm
so it'll
putting
bring up
the link in the
article.
chat for them, so if they have a computer, they can open up the same thing and click the links because they
Yeah.
can't click it on the screen. Okay.
Yeah, I shared it earlier. I don't know if everybody
Oh, okay.
got it though.
All right. Well, I just did it again just in case. There you go, guys.
So
I'm just being a pedant here. Okay. The Boulder County. All right. Did you want me to go on or stop?
You can go ahead. I'll take the next one.
Okay. The Boulder County coroner reveals that JonBenet was strangled. Officials released no other details. Headlines from the 28th. No suspects in slaying. Coroner reports Boulder girl was strangled. Headline from the 29th. Details still elusive in slaying.
So December 30th of 96, a family flies to Georgia where JonBenet is buried. About the murder investigation, city officials say JonBenet's two older half-siblings, John and Melinda, were out of town during the incident. And then it's just got a couple articles there. Slaying girl's funeral in Atlanta and girl's brother was out of state.
Mm-hmm.
And then December 31st, JonBenet is buried in Marietta, Georgia. This is something I find odd. All right. So mind you, that the body was found on the 26th. Autopsy was performed, and she was shipped to Atlanta and buried on the 31st.
Okay. What is that?
It seems rushed to me.
Well, autopsies.
But I also got to understand,
They
at
may
the
have
time,
rushed
the case,
the autopsy. It's a child,
yeah,
for one.
and
you
their
thought-
case and the caseload may not have been that big,
right? And we're talking years ago. And perhaps they didn't do. They're still going to wait for the blood test and all of that stuff. But the actual, dissection, the technical part of the autopsy, it only takes a day if you get to it. It takes a full day. of pictures and staging and, all of that. But, you know, you would think that it's a child and with the parents and it's such a high profile case, they would probably want to make it look like they're really tackling it quickly.
Yeah. I just
So
I
I,
just
I
found
could
that
see.
I just
I
found
would,
from the body to turn around was awful quick. It was 5
well,
days.
if
I mean,
it's parents, I can't imagine leaving them without the body for burial for much
yeah.
longer than.
Well, I mean, you think about the cases nowadays. I mean, how long do we have to wait for autopsy results now?
Yeah, but that's backlog. That's not because of the process. The process is
Yeah.
actually expedited and more efficient and, better. It's the backlog. It's because there's just too many to do.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and not enough, people to do them, and the staff. It's a budget. It's
Yeah.
budgetary, not process. So, yeah. Okay, so are we going into January now? We
You're
click
gonna
over.
go into January now.
All right. So I'll just start with the first for you. Do you want me to just do one at a time?
Yeah. Go ahead in January.
Okay. So on January 1997, on January 1st, John and Patsy Ramsey go on CNN for their first interview, proclaiming their innocence and telling an interviewer that there is a killer on the loose. John Ramsey has hired Brian Morgan, a Denver lawyer, to represent him. Headlines from the second: Ramsey's estate, a killer is out there. Parents of slain Boulder girl end silence in a CNN interview. And on the 28th of December prior, Ramsey speak out in January CNN interview. So in other words, that it was planned ahead. It was planned before the burial. So they planned it. They knew about it on the 28th of December because she wasn't buried until the 31st. And the day after the funeral, they were on CNN.
Yeah.
Okay.
So on the 4th, the police finished their 10-day search of the family home. They had the ransom notepad was found on the 4th. Tablet found in the home offers clues to the Ramsey murder probe, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 articles of Ramsey warrants dated 26th, 27th, 29th, and the 30th.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 5th, now this one is particular because this is where we're gonna I'll look at something else here in just a second. So it says John, Patsy, and Burke attend services at St. John's Episcopalian Church. Upon leaving, congregation members, some who later say they were prepared by the family's publicists, shield the Ramsey family from the media outside the church. Also, Sergeant Larry Mason is removed as lead investigator on the case after being accused of leaking information to the press.
Wow.
An internal investigation later clears Mason.
Mm.
Excuse me, hang on just a second.
Oh boy.
So, Claire, do you want to click on the one that says on 1A that says practice notes found? You want to start reading that real quick for me?
Yes, I can. Okay, practice note found. Ransom letter apparently had an initial draft. This is by camera staff writer Ali Krupski on Wednesday, January 8th of 1997. Investigators found a second practice ransom note involved in the slaying of JonBenet Ramsey inside the family's home, sources said Tuesday. This letter was kind of in shaky handwriting, and it looks like it was a felt tip kind of pen, a source said. The real note used a felt tip pen too. It looks like the person just tried to write a note and just stopped for some reason, another source said. Both letters had black writing, and they're from the same notepad. Police earlier had discovered the tablet used to write the ransom note, found early on the day after Christmas. Patsy Ramsey, JonBenet's mother, discovered a 3-page ransom letter on the back stairs of the family's Chautauqua home about 5:30 a.m. December 26th and called police. John Ramsey, JonBenet's father, and a friend later found the 6-year-old beauty queen strangled in the wine cellar. Earlier Tuesday, officials said they removed the lead Boulder police detective from the team investigating the case, and a judge sealed the search warrant for the Ramsey's house despite objections by the Daily Camera and other media. Boulder Police Chief Tom Colby dropped Sergeant Larry Mason from the murder case effective last Sunday, authorities said. Mason and 4 other detectives traveled last week to Atlanta to question more than 30 of John and Patsy Ramsey's friends, relatives, and associates, including John Ramsey's past business partners. The Ramseys had lived in the Atlanta area where JonBenet was born and last week buried. Mason has worked for the department for about 18 years, sources said. Officials previously had planned to reassign Mason to the department's patrol division in mid-January, authorities said. City spokesman Kelvin McNeil would not detail the specifics of Mason's removal, but sources said it was aimed at silencing leaks to the media. All other issues, including intense media scrutiny, will not be allowed to deter the Boulder Police Department from its singular focus, McNeil said in a statement. The chief has made it clear that anyone distracted from the focus will be reassigned. State and city personnel policies prohibit McNeil from further explaining the removal, he said. The focus of this investigation is finding out who is responsible for the murder and securing a conviction, McNeil said. The police chief heard of a personnel issue and took swift and immediate action.
So from what I'm getting here is Mason ran his lips and got busted for it.
Yeah, well, they don't like you talking to the
Yeah.
people.
My apologies for stepping out for just a second.
You know,
Attack.
Juju, I really do want to know all the information that they did not release because, like, I want to see all the photos. Like, how are we supposed to figure it out if they don't give us everything? Like, it's been a long time. But I guess because it's still an active investigation, they will not close it, that we're not going to get everything. Closed occasionally will get everything released.
Now, one thing I could not find a copy of that pre-ransom note.
No?
I couldn't find it.
You did not. Okay.
I couldn't find a picture of the rehearsal note or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on to the next one here.
Okay. Would you like me to read it? Save your stuffies, or are you okay?
I got it.
Okay?
I got it.
All right.
So sources revealed investigators found a practice note. We just went over that. That was on the 7th. On the 9th, Police Chief Tom Colby meets with 5 members of the local press. His first news conference since JonBenet was found. Colby says the field of suspects is narrow, but sheds little light on the investigation. A couple of the articles here is it's Colby to meet the media. Police chief will field questions. Police narrow suspects, and Colby makes measures to reassure the community.
Mm-hmm.
On the 10th, the Globe tabloid plans to publish photos from the crime scenes apparently taken by the coroner's office. Boulder County Sheriff's Department begins an investigation into how the Boca Raton, Florida publication got the photos. Now, if you click on the first one, this is tabloid obtains murder scene photos. So the Boulder County Sheriff's Department on Friday begins investigating. We just talked about that. The Boca Raton, Florida supermarket tabloid plans to publish 6 pictures in the next several days. The Globe did not return any phone calls at the time. They are authentic, and I believe they are photos that were taken by my office, the Boulder County Coroner, Dr. John Meyer. This is something that has never happened before, to my knowledge, and it is one of the real nightmares for any medical examiner. NBC officials notified Meyer of the snapshots on Friday afternoon. We had a copy of the tabloid before it reached the newsstand, said Jack Chestnut, the NBC News Denver bureau chief. Our interest in the photos were on 2 levels. 1, are they authentic? And 2, had they been taken by the coroner's office? We were never interested in putting the Globe's photos on the air, and we will not broadcast them.
I lost my place. I have no idea where you are.
That's all right. We're gonna move on to the next day because the rest of it's just kind of blah blah blah.
Oh, we're
So
back on the day. Okay,
yeah,
we'll
go
go.
back
Oh,
to. So now we're gonna
oh,
look at
I
January.
didn't. I didn't realize you went back to the days. That's why I'm lost because I'm still
Oh,
on the article and going.
oh.
Where are you reading from, dude? I'm like, wow. So
uh,
which day? Which day we up to?
January 15th.
All right. So Lawrence Sean Smith, a Photograph Laboratories employee, and Brett Sawyer, a former sheriff's deputy working as a private investigator, are arrested in connection with selling photos to the Globe. Smith received only $200 for the photos, according to police reports. Sawyer received $5,000 and a $5,000 bonus and expenses. Wow. There's
Yeah.
quite a few articles about this. Arrest near in photo leak, picture lab worker, a suspect, photo lab staffer, ex-cop arrested in picture leak, inquiry not over, the sheriff says. Lab worker, I was betrayed. Man charged in photo theft blames friend. Sheriff, DA end investigation into theft of Ramsey photos. I guess they closed it on February 4th. Two ordered to write apologies for Ramsey autopsy photo sale on February 21st. I guess that was after they were tried.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, excuse me. So on the 23rd, the Ramsey's friends and relatives say police has questioned them about the past child abuse in connection with the murder. A former nanny and others tell the Daily Camera that they don't believe abuse was possible. Meanwhile, John Douglas, a former FBI profiler hired by the Ramsey family, tells Larry King that his investigation concluded family members did not commit the murder. And we did talk about that the other day. So now we're going to move on to March. Not a lot really happened in March. The University of Colorado law professor Patrick Furman is hired to represent Patsy Ramsey. And JonBenet's mother had already retained Patrick Burke.
Okay.
Patsy Ramsey gives a third handwriting sample. That was on the 3rd. On the 4th, the city's cost in the Ramsey case nears $100,000. At this point, we do know they ended up spending millions.
Millions, right?
Trying to figure this out. On
Yeah,
March 6th. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say that's on back in 1997,
Mm-hmm.
and now like it's up in the millions because it's been years and they still have it open.
Yeah. I want to make sure I'm not missing.
All right, so the 6th they cleared the adult children, and on the 12th, this is when they start hiring new people, right?
Yep. The prosecutor office hires a retired Colorado Springs investigator to work the case. 14 sources close to the investigation say John did not write the ransom note. And on the 28th, Ramsey's fire Washington, D.C. consultant Patrick Corton as their spokesman.
And that one, on the 14th, that's important. Like they just didn't do that in-house. They got outside experts to look at this. Okay. And they decided that the writer was most likely female based on vernacular and writing style, which was not the way I read that letter. Like, I don't know about the chat, but I disagree with that. I do not think the letter writer is female.
So
I just don't.
If you click on it, on the article there, it says part of the way it was written looked more like women's writing than a man's, a source said, but there will never be a definitive way to tell because some men write like women and some women write like men. And if officials had declined to confirm the report.
Right, Raven, the vernacular, the use of language. I'm very particular about the use of language, and I don't think I write like a man or a woman, just a proper person. But
now Juju said they thought it was a woman also.
Oh, you did think it was a woman. Okay, Juju, and I know that you and Shay have already solved the case, so now I'm curious. But I'm with Raven. I thought it was very male leaning. If you could say language was male leaning in writing style, I would say it was male leaning.
That's kind of what I thought too.
Shay says the man wrote it. Hey,
yeah.
I thought you guys solved the case together. Wait, one says a woman. Wait, is it okay? So now I'm really curious. It's a couple then who did it? Like what?
Now there is something a little interesting. If you go about halfway down, it says drugs such as Valium, however, may dramatically affect handwriting samples. A forensic document examiner with the Lakewood Police Department and retired federal document examiner had written. She says any kind of tranquilizers or other medication can depress the neuromuscular function to the point where it dulls the actual activity of writing. It doesn't mean that it makes the writing so that you can't identify any characteristics, but the writing
Right.
wouldn't be truly representative of the person's normal, natural handwriting. It is a contaminated sample, so you wouldn't have any reliable scientific examination on it. Now, there is one really important thing we need to put on this thing. Boulder Chief Spokesman Leslie Ahom says from the beginning, we have not provided information on the results of the test, and we are not going to change that stance at this point. This was in '97, mind you. This is when everybody was saying that they claim it was the mom did it. You know, the mom wrote the note. They didn't know. They didn't release anything on that. So yeah, where a lot of people got that information, I don't know, because it isn't actually till much later that they were ruled out completely.
Wow.
So you want to start with April of '97?
Sure I will. April 10th and 15th. Police seek the 4th and 5th handwriting samples from Patsy Ramsey. Another writing sample is sought. Fifth handwriting session rejected. Discussions continue over 5th writing sample. JonBenet's mom pens a 5th sample. So that because the experts decided that John was in the clear, because it was leaning female, now they're going to put more pressure on the mom. That's Patsy. So, okay, April 21st, the Ramsey's attorney write a scathing letter to Hunter after police cancel an interview with their clients. Police respond that FBI advisors didn't approve of the conditions of the interview and release of set of conditions. Ramsey sent DA a scathing letter. Official list conditions for the Ramsey interviews. In other words, I guess there had to be some protocol that they were going to follow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
if we look at this one, investigators remain willing to interview the parents of JonBenet. Boulder Police Chief Tom Colby and District Attorney Alex Hunter said Thursday in a consolatory letter to the family's attorneys. Colby and Hunter, however, listed 6 conditions of the proposed interrogation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
John and Patsy must be interviewed separately.
Mm-hmm.
Patsy must be interviewed first. There must be an open-ended time frame for the interview with reasonable breaks. The interviews must be tape recorded. The interview must be conducted by 2 Boulder police detectives selected in consultation with Hunter. The Ramseys may be accompanied by their attorneys. And the interviews must be conducted at a neutral location such as the Child and Family Advocate Center in Niwot.
Okay. Well, that all sounds reasonable to me, doesn't it? I mean, it actually sounds as a benefit to the Ramseys.
At the time of this writing, though, it says the Ramseys' lawyers had not decided if the couple will submit to questioning under such circumstances.
Well, at the time, they didn't want to be questioned at all. Remember, they were they avoided all contact with them. Right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
You know, after the initial, and then because this is much later, I mean, they didn't end up talking to him, but yeah. So where are we at now? April 22nd? Mm-hmm. April 22nd.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I got to go back there. And Shay is now saying that she thinks there's 2 letter writers because it leans both ways. And you know what? And it did stop and start. That is an interesting theory. I like that. Okay. Boulder County Coroner, this is April 22nd. Boulder County Coroner John Meyer tells the Daily Camera that police inquired about keeping JonBenet's body until the Ramseys agreed to an interview. Meyer said he told police he would release her body because forensic work was done. What? They were gonna put pressure on them that way?
Yeah.
That's just rude. Oh, come on. That's not right. That's not right.
Now, we know that didn't happen because we know that she got buried.
Well, she did get buried right away. They did release the body.
This had come out later that they were thinking about holding the body till they interviewed, which is kind of a shady-ass tactic in my estimation.
I think that's really kind of unfair pressure. That is like, you're supposed to be, unless you are subpoenaed, you're supposed to give testimony willingly, interviews willingly, right?
Mhm.
Like you can't blackmail them like that, holding their child's. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a little disgusting to me. Shame on you, shame on you.
April 23rd, sources tell the Daily Camera that police released documents to the Ramsey's lawyer that detailed the family's behavior on the 26th as part of the conditions for the interview.
Wow.
And then April 30th, 4 months after the murder, John and Patsy finally submit to formal interviews. So yeah, it was 4 months before they actually sat down, and this is all. And going through this whole thing, it seems to me it was that they didn't want to. It was their attorneys were saying, "Hey, we don't like these conditions. No, we don't like these conditions. No, we don't like these conditions." So it seems to me that that whole thing was pushed on why it took so long because of their lawyer, which is
Right.
not uncommon.
Not uncommon. It's true. They want to just make sure that everything's right. And they're protecting them, and as they should. It is a volatile case. It's high profile. The police are under a lot of pressure to solve it, and they don't want to get railroaded because they are the only ones in the house, and the child was found in the house. So,
Yeah.
May 1st, May 1997, the Ramseys meet with selected local reporters after months of seclusion to declare their innocence and plead for help in finding their daughter's killer. So now they're going to the press.
Mm-hmm. And I think that was part of their lawyer too. Because they've already talked to the.
Yep. And so now they're getting out there that they deny doing anything. They're pleading their innocence, and I would too. I wouldn't want the phone calls and all the stuff that's going on. Like, can you just imagine how they were harassed? I mean, while they're under suspicion.
May 10th, the Ramseys placed an ad in the Daily Camera that offers a reward for anyone with tips about the murder of JonBenet. That reward was $100,000. The interesting article here is the second one. It says Ramsey ad seeks info on mail.
Now, what is that? I'm going to open that up.
So, family spokeswoman Rochelle Zimmer did not return Daily Camera phone calls about the advertisement purchased by the JonBenet Ramsey Children's Foundation offering a $100,000 reward. The ad also lists a telephone number for Crime Stoppers, but it says anyone with information regarding a well-dressed male approaching young children around Christmas time, please call. A draft of the ad reads. Boulder Police Chief Tom Colby and other officials said that they have no knowledge of the new information request. It says normally people don't put their own information in an ad and use Crime Stopper phone numbers. It said Stacy Cornet, public relations consultant for the Boulder Crime Stoppers. There is a procedure that we follow. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay. May 13th. Two Boulder police investigators, Detective Linda Arndt, the first to arrive at the murder scene, and Detective Melissa Camp, formerly Melissa Hickman, are dropped from the case. What? Why?
Well, I'll tell you here. It says, one of the things we've been looking at is how do we manage both our investigation of the Ramsey case for the long haul and keep up with the workload of the detective division, said Boulder Police Chief Tony Colby. The work that remains to be done on the Ramsey case is detail work and analysis type work, and we think that we're at a point where we can adjust our resources to effectively deal with both issues. Detectives and Boulder County District Attorney officials investigating the homicide also plan to move the offices in the Boulder County Justice Center. The capacity of that space is smaller, and the goal is to consolidate both groups in one place, so it's taken them a while to do it. It's getting close to a point where those are ready, and the timing was wise to go ahead and make the adjustments and move. So they didn't want to leave the homicide detectives on the case where now they're down, they're getting into the little detail work. So they're going to move those two off the case into another one while they bring other detectives in to work the fine detail stuff. Arndt called at home and briefed about the situation, reached the Ramsey's house. We know that at about 8:10. It says she got there quickly, established a great relationship with the Ramsey's friends, especially the people who were at the house the day her body was found. People really trust her, so it's really a shame that she's not on the case anymore. It makes you wonder what's happening in the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
And now it says 5
Mhm.
police employees as well as 4 district attorney officials remain assigned to the case full time.
All right. Now, Juju says, she's surprised that she would have dropped them before that. She feels like if they hadn't contaminated the crime scene so horribly, the case could have been solved by now.
It's
And I think
possible.
there's a lot of people who kind of feel that way. They are very
Mm.
upset with how it was handled in the beginning.
Yeah, I
It does.
100% agree. It was handled horribly.
It is, especially by today's standards and what we have, going on. All right.
So May 15th, police confirmed they received DNA test results in connection with the murder, but sources say tests were not as conclusive as they could be.
Well, what does that mean? Not as they could be.
They were, if I remember right, there was no connection to the family at this point.
They got them from fingernail scrapings, blood, and hair found on a blanket, but the crime scene was cleaned so well that parts of the tests are not as conclusive as they could be. What do you mean it was cleaned so well? Dr. Henry Lee and other people from Boulder County Task Force should be in town the next few days to help analyze. Oh. That's it? That's all they said about it? That line right there? That's it. That's all I get?
That's all you get.
That's foul. That's foul. That's just, don't be telling me the DNA's messed up and don't tell me how. You know they know how. You know they know, Jay. Like, come on. That's just wrong. Oh, man. All right.
Yeah.
Well, so, Patsy. Okay.
Yeah, May 20th.
Okay, I'm going to go to May 20th. I'm bummed now. Patsy Ramsey provides authorities with a 5th handwriting sample. She still has not been ruled out as the author of the ransom note. Meanwhile, Boulder District Judge Carol Glowinski delays for another 15 days in order to release most of the 6-year-old's autopsy report, which had been sealed.
Not uncommon.
That's not uncommon because if I don't even know why you release an autopsy report if it's going to go into evidence before everything's been said and done.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessary. You can release what they say they died of, but you don't need the report. What does the media need the report for?
Really? We actually have the autopsy
report. I know we do, but I know we do.
Yeah.
And we're going to go over it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, by today's standard, do you know what I mean? Don't you feel that that's a little much while the case is going on? I don't know. Anyway.
So we're going to move into June now. You can take the first one. I'll take the next one.
All right. The June 3rd, 1997, the Colorado Court of Appeals gives Boulder County officials 2 weeks to put together a more convincing argument as to why JonBenet Ramsey's autopsy report should remain sealed. Meanwhile, Detective Commander John Eller, who heads the Ramsey investigation, applies for a police chief job in Florida.
That's not uncommon either.
He's leaving too. Okay. All right, here we go. Nobody wants to stay with this case.
So, June 7th, signs of a computer break-in appear in the war room set up for 4 prosecutors and police investigators working on the Ramsey case. Colorado Bureau of Investigation is asked to investigate. So the first article says hackers invade the Ramsey case file. Ramsey, on the 14th, says Ramsey case notes might be missing. 17th, Ramsey file theft investigated. And then on the 25th, it says more Ramsey files possibly.
So they didn't just hack in. They hack in and took the stuff?
Yeah. Yep.
Like they took it? Wow. That. So now we're like, oh, man. We are 6 months in, right? We're approximately 6 months in. And now evidence and stuff is missing. It's going to go. It's disappearing. And they're nowhere near solving this case.
Now, there's an interesting thing here. It says, in part of the article, it says, I can't believe the killer would be in there doing this. It just doesn't make sense to me, said Greg McCrary, a former criminal profiler with the FBI. It's more someone who wants to embarrass Boulder investigators further by, 1, showing their vulnerability, and 2, by looking for some information that could show some silly lead. The thief or thieves may not have obtained significant information. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be a lot of dead end leads, and clearly none of those have panned out because nobody's been arrested. There would
Mm-hmm.
be a log of that material in there, so if they come in and are just blindly rummaging around, they'll find a lot of that stuff.
Wow. Okay, so we're going to go on like now to June 20th. This is bizarre to me. James Michael Thompson, aka JT Colfax, is arrested for allegedly trying to force burning papers in the mail slot at the Ramsey home. Thompson has been arrested earlier for allegedly stealing the morgue page with JonBenet Ramsey's entry on it. What? People are crazy. Like, that's just crazy. But at least that was just the morgue page where they documented she was received in.
Yeah.
But, that's crazy.
This is one of those. This is the people that believe that the Ramseys
Yeah.
did it. So
Yeah. So June 24th, Boulder County Social Services officials report someone may have tampered with Ramsey information in their computers, which detail an interview with JonBenet's brother, among other things. What is like, people are tampering with this stuff electronically now. This is crazy. CBI, what is that? Like
that's the Colorado
Bureau of Investigation. Yep, it concludes a glitch caused by a power outage is to blame for the war room computer problems.
Yeah,
so nobody hacked. Nobody hacked. Somebody just.
That's what they're saying.
They're covering themselves or what? All right.
Now here's an interesting one. Now we're on the end of June, so we're at 6 months later. The officers from the Boulder Police Department and the Boulder District Attorney's Office and the CBI returned to the 7,000 square foot home looking for more clues.
What?
If I remember right, the Ramseys have not returned back to the house. The house has been sealed up.
Okay, so that's good. Then at least it's in that condition of when they left it. Hopefully. So now we're in July 1997. July 2nd, investigators confirmed they plan to destroy walls in the Ramsey home in hope of locating evidence related to the murder. Well, they didn't find anything, if I recall. They just made a mess. Yeah. They didn't find anything, and it just made a mess, which was, what did they think they were looking for? Like,
so we're gonna skip over a couple of these because we're almost at that 1 hour mark.
Right.
We're just gonna some things here. So
they bought a new home. Yeah.
Police chief denies that he'll quit soon. Now, here's one. July 14th, the judge orders portions of the JonBenet autopsy report released. It reviews how brutally the girl was beaten on the head and possibly sexually assaulted. We'll get more into that tomorrow when we actually look at the autopsy report itself.
Right. Yeah. They said that the fingerprints tests on the ransom note are inconclusive, so they couldn't get anything off of the note. They searched the home for blunt objects, dark fibers, blood fluid stains, nothing. They found nothing. They plan to send letters to neighbors and publish ads seeking his daughter's killer. That's John Ramsey himself, who was active. Oh boy. So the Ramsey is now ramped up advertising and checking out things on their own, trying to get information on their own. Okay.
From here on out, though, there really isn't much more relevant information. There's just some. We'll go into autopsy stuff that is.
Yeah, but in September, the FBI did declare that the ransom note was a deception. There was never going to be a kidnapping. The FBI firmly believes that the intent was not to kidnap JonBenet Ramsey.
Yeah,
they declared it a hoax. Okay. Then they released it for publication. Oh, that's about it. They did search the home again for their Boulder home. Okay, the search warrants are actually released so that they could see what they were looking for. They're released for public. November through December. What do we have here?
Not much.
Well. Okay. There was something that was just a little odd. A New York lawyer did decide to sue the DA to try to get them to charge Patsy Ramsey because he was convinced she did it. And why that was just bizarre. Like that's nuts. Like that's like, that just a little caveat of weirdness in the case.
Yeah. In November 21st, a Michigan judge releases a second search warrant for the Ramsey vacation home, indicating police searched for samples of Patsy Ramsey handwriting in the house.
Because but they already have 5 samples. This is what.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yeah, but what they were looking for was
casual writing, so that
yeah,
they could try to catch her up.
Yeah.
Because they thought that she practiced so much and 5 times that she could hide whatever they were looking for from experts in handwriting. Like, come on. I mean, I don't know. The
25th, November 25th is interesting.
Yes, the city agrees to pay Sergeant Larry Mason and his wife $10,000 to settle their claim over Eller's wrongful accusations of leaking information to the media against Mason. So one of the lead people was moved for no reason at all?
Yep.
Like this is how cases get messed up. The people that do the investigation, that have the knowledge, that are putting all the pieces together, get shuffled around and don't stay with the case. How are you supposed to solve it? How is the new person going to get up to speed? What about that one detail that this one remembers that the other one never even got? Now,
December 19th is an interesting one. It says attorneys for the Ramseys say they believe a stun gun may have been used in the murder. This is the first time we've heard about a stun gun.
And I wonder if their investigator is leading them to that information. Wait a minute. The stun gun. Wasn't there a stun gun with the dead body that you told me about last week?
Yeah, the other guy, yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So we go in the 1998?
Yeah, 98.
So...
Yeah,
they're going to get a special prosecutor. The governor stands by the DA. There's battles going on internally within the county trying to get this case resolved. Now they can't decide who's going to prosecute, who's doing whatever. Nothing's happening, and they're all fighting amongst each other. That's what that all says right there. Okay. After a 6-hour meeting with Boulder police and famed criminologist Henry Lee, District Attorney Alex Hunter blasts John and Patsy Ramsey, saying the murder investigation is hindered by their lack of cooperation. So he will put it all on them because they won't talk to him. Okay.
Well, it's probably their lawyer telling them to keep their mouth shut.
Exactly.
Commander Mark Becker, head of the Ramsey investigation, takes command of the Detective Bureau upon John Eller's departure from the force. That was in February. And then we go to 99.
You're skipping the rest of the year and going right to 1999? Okay.
Well, there was nothing else. I didn't have anything else.
Did
I miss something in 98?
No. I don't think so. Okay, let's see. So,
I see I didn't realize that
don't they start the charge? Don't they charge somebody? Wait. They try to do a grand jury at the end of 98, don't they?
I thought so. Hang on. Well,
hold on. October, December. A federal judge orders John Ramsey to submit to a deposition by the end of October in the Stephen Miles civil lawsuit, and that was in October of 98 because there were lawsuits filed. Okay. 12 grand jurors and 5 alternates toured the scene of the crime, the Ramseys' former 15th Street home. Okay, so there's a grand jury. That's what we're missing. In 1998, they held a grand jury. They're trying to decide if there's enough evidence to press charges on somebody. And we assume it's the Ramseys. Okay, there was big talk. It was definitely going to be John and Patsy together, right? Both parents. They were leaving Burke out of it, and they were looking at both parents, I believe, at this time, right? Mm-hmm. In the Stephen Miles defamation suit, apparently they had said something about this guy, Stephen Miles. John Ramsey finally got dropped as a defendant. Okay.
November 12th, officials from Stevens Aviation deliver subpoenaed records to the Boulder County District Attorney's Office. John Ramsey stored his 28-year-old airplane in the hangar located at Jefferson County Airport in Broomfield. The hangar was never searched by police.
No.
Which
But
is
they
interesting.
Right. All right. So the grand juries are still investigating the JonBenet Ramsey, and they're getting back to work.
Yeah, 98. There we go.
In 99, like in the first month. They have now, the prosecutors spent over $388,000 on the Ramsey case since December of 1996. Still trying to identify mystery DNA, Boulder police are instructed by the DA, Alex Hunter, to take a saliva sample from 13-year-old daughter of the Ramsey's former housekeeper. Now, in January 22nd, they have spent more than $1.2 million on the Ramsey case, bringing the total spent by the city and county agencies to more than $1.5 million.
Now, there's something interesting I hadn't thought of. Shay's comment: we weren't looking at trafficking cases much in the 90s, so I think it was trafficking gone wrong.
You mean they were stealing her? You know, it could have been.
I don't know. I said nothing about this seems to me for trafficking, but like I said, I wasn't there. So
well, she was pretty, but yeah. I don't know. The whole thing seems wrong. The FBI is saying that the letters are a deflection, like there was never going to be a kidnapping. I don't know why they're saying that. There's got to be more. In January 28th, District Attorney Alex Hunter, in an unusual move, asked the public to help identify a stuffed Santa Claus bear seen in a crime scene photo of JonBenet's bedroom. Investigators want to know the bear's manufacturer and where such a stuffed animal could have been purchased in 1996 or earlier. Prosecutors had asked police in Coldwater, Michigan in the fall of 1998 to quietly search for information about the bear. Also, a federal judge throws out the remainder of the Stephen Miles defamation suit against the National Enquirer. And then on January 30th, the Boulder County District Attorney announces it's found a close match to the mysterious teddy bear.
February. Blah, 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 blah.
Books are released. 5 alternates on the Ramsey grand jury are dismissed in February.
I'm looking to see. What I'm trying to find out is where they say, if it's even got it on here, where they claim that, where they finally admit that she didn't write it.
No. On March 3rd, they still had 4 detectives assigned to the Ramsey care in Atlanta doing follow-up work.
Yeah.
Okay. The Ramsey grand jury indicts 2 Boulder County men, but not in connection with the 6-year-old's death. They indict Brian P. Cork and Michael W. Davis on 8 felony charges, including several counts of securities fraud in an alleged investment scam run and defrauded about 180 investors nationwide of $2.28 million between July 1996 and March 1996. Why is that in there?
That was kind of my thought. I'm like, what does that have to do with?
Why is the Ramsey grand jury indicting on them?
Yeah. Shay wants to know if there's a picture of the bear. I'm going to look at the photos here real quick and see. I don't remember seeing a bear.
Maybe it's in the children's room photos.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the bedroom photos right now. I'm not seeing a bear.
I thought I saw a face of a bear on a.
I seen
something. There was like a face of something. Was that on the coverlet? Like,
yeah, there was over on the second bedroom. There was a doll.
Where the coverlet's pulled down on the first bed.
What's a coverlet?
Oh, all right, the blanket, whatever.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't know what a coverlet was.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to that here. So are you talking about this?
I don't know. I can't. Let me get back to the screen. I thought I saw. Oh, I see brown things. All right, so maybe I'm just like I thought one of these could have been these brown things, but maybe not.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing. There's nothing in that one.
That's not a bear.
See a bear.
Wait, there's a Santa bear. That's a white bear with dressed in a
Is that
Santa
a
suit.
bear?
That's a bear. It's a polar bear. Look at that face. I know bear. I'm a bear. That's a bear, right? People, that's a bear.
I mean, looks like it could be a bear.
That looks like a white bear to me. Look at that black nose, right? No.
Mm.
Does it? And look at the smile. It looks like the Coca-Cola bear. Like the polar bear, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm
Could be.
wrong, but there you go. Found the bear. There you go, Shay.
Looks like a bear to me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You know what would be helpful, Jay? If I go set up a JonBenet room in the Murder Minions and you post those pictures, can you post those pictures for them?
yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Because they're invested and they need the evidence
yeah.
to solve the case.
So there you go. That's pretty much. Yeah, Jay, are you about to die? I'm feeling it. I'm getting overheated now. Shay says it looks like it's a Macy's bear. Pardon me.
All right, there's a new room, Jace, called the JonBenet evidence and stuff.
Yeah. Regardless of what Raven says, it's horrible.
Regardless of what?
Raven called me a big baby. See? He says he's a baby.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get the murder minions in the room. There we go. All right.
So,
there you can post all of that stuff for them in there. Okay.
Yeah.
And as I'm going to also post this link in case anybody didn't grab it. Oh, I'll wait till you're done with the pictures. Okay.
There you go. Oh, God damn it. So you only upload 10 at a time. By me.
What? It'll only do 10 at a time?
Yeah.
That's just not right.
And there you go. They're all in the room now. I am. She says I'm sounding better. I mean, okay. I'll take her word for it.
Okay. All right.
So tomorrow we are going to be looking at the autopsy report. I am not going to provide pictures. Just because it's bad taste. I may post pictures of the garrote, so you can see that. And I actually have seen the autopsy photos from JonBenet. They are not pretty. And so I'm not going to be sharing that with everybody else. If you guys are interested in looking at it, you can easily go find them. But like I said, we will, just decency wise, we're not going to go post those out. That'll be tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We're going to go over the autopsy report. Lots of interesting stuff in the autopsy report. Have you got a chance to look at it yet?
I have. And there are actually, I just put the JonBenet website and the actual Searching Girl links in the JonBenet evidence room for all of you who want to look ahead. You just can find information on the autopsy on that. There you go. I figured that's a good place. I don't know why I didn't think of setting up an evidence room for JonBenet before.
Yeah.
What? Juju, that was you inspired me because you want the details. You wanted to know about that other letter.
What's the deets?
She wants the deets, and I don't blame her. I want to know about that other letter too. Where is the second letter? I want to read it, and I want to know why the DNA was compromised. Like, talk to me, people. Like, what's going on here? That's just not right. I'm going to be doing some searching now because I'm curious, Yes, tomorrow evening at 10 p.m. That will be p.m. EST. There's no way I can do morning because I will be over at Ranty's auditing the Absurd channel,
Yeah.
covering the Johnny Depp trial from 8:30 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening, Eastern Standard Time. That trial's a hot, wild mess. Like that is like, I have to say, I'm having a blast. She's like all messy. This child is messy. But on JonBenet, we're well, where are we going to leave this, Jay?
I don't know. I lost where I was going to pull up the.
What would you like? I have the boulder still up. We
No,
finished.
I wanted to look at the autopsy report real quick, but now I can't find it where I put it.
Well,
I don't know. I'll find it.
Well, at the end of October, let me just bring you to the end of the document, all the way to the end of 1999. The grand jury was still in deliberations. They did not charge anybody, and they did not have a trial. They didn't do it. They were in session for months, people, months, and they didn't come up with anything. They toured the home. They reviewed the evidence.
Yeah,
I know, Juju, right? Yeah, I know.
A lot of
the bear
stuff
knows her bear. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Jean,
stuff we're going to go over the show.
Yeah. Jean, if you would like access to the Murder Minions part of my Discord, could you send me your Discord ID by Twitter or Instagram or any of the contact information I have on the back of my channel, or even in the by you can find me in the show's Discord. You can private message me. You know, if you want to join, you just have to give me permission to add you. Like, I don't want to put you in there if you don't want to be in there. And the same for you, Aniceto. If you use Discord at all and want to be part of the Murder Minions, just let us know. Anyone else that I missed, you know, that's where we're going to be putting some of the evidence. We're going to have a roundtable of discussion about theories where you all get to talk to us about the case, and you don't have to use voice to do that. You can also just chat in a voice chat room that will be adjacent to the phone call. So you can listen to us and then put your answers in chat if you choose not to use voice. Some people don't like to, and it's not mandatory or anything. It's just something extra we wanted to add, right, Jay?
Yeah. Two quick updates, real quick here. I got to find the article again, but they have made an arrest in the Haley Montgomery case. I can't remember what the guy's name was, but they have
Haley Montgomery.
Yeah, okay. It was just a little girl with the
I wouldn't know because I refuse to follow the children's trial. Like, I don't do that. The only one I'm doing is Dave Vallow, you know, Lori Dave Vallow and Chad Daybell, because children. Anyway, what's going on with that? I guess maybe
she was the little girl that they found that went missing for like 2 years. You know, the whole thing with the she was with her stepmom and her dad, and she went missing, and you know, the courts didn't know where she was at. Yeah. I can't remember. I want to say it was Haley Montgomery, but apparently that's not her name. But yeah, there's been an arrest made in that case. And then what was the just cover real quick
No, I'm doing an update. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
Spill? No. All right. Don't you doing a spill? You want to spill about it? I mean, I'm sure they've heard.
Yeah, we can spill about it.
You want to gloat a little bit? I know you want to gloat.
I do want to gloat.
All right, let me at least tell them what's going on, and then you may gloat, and maybe it'll make you feel better. All right, everybody, there's an update on the Barry Morphew case. His wife, Suzanne Morphew, has been missing almost 2 years. This Mother's Day will be 2 years as of May 10th of 2020. There is no body, as Jay will be gleefully telling you in a few moments. Okay. Last time we talked, the judge had thrown out all of the witnesses on the prosecution side because of, you know, improper procedure. They had failed on some deadlines. They had not informed the other side of some certain things. Remember, there was the whole DNA mishap about them not giving the name of the man who was found in the registry to belong to one sample of DNA that was found on the glove department. There's some misconception about how many samples there were. Only one on the glove department area of the Jeep or the van or whatever. I think it was a Jeep. That is the only specimen. Yeah, it was her vehicle. There was plenty of other DNA found everywhere else, but that one specimen did belong to somebody that was a registered sex offender and they were located 2 states over, and there was a name attached to it, and that was not turned over to the defense in time.
It wasn't turned over to the defense until the defense got word of it and said, "Hey, wait a minute." They were going to keep it quiet altogether.
Yeah, they were. But anyway, what has happened is on Tuesday, the prosecutors filed a motion that they decided to dismiss the case because they don't want it to get corrupted anymore. They want to file charges again. So they're not closing that. They're keeping the investigation open. They are planning on refiling. According to what they said, they still believe that there is someone that is culpable of this murder. But they also said in their dismissal request to the judge that they do believe they're close to finding the body. But they will not find the body by trial date, which was 2 weeks away. So they decided to dismiss the case and refile.
Yeah, dismissed without prejudice.
Without prejudice, which means they can refile at any time, based on statutes and everything. But the interesting part is, Jay, they said they're close to finding the body, which will be a whole new case. So
I would like to understand how they. I want to know why they think. Yeah, good. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Probably somebody talked, is what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I'm just speculating, though. I know nothing. It's not in that document. The motion that I read has nothing about who said what, where, when. It just says we believe we are close to finding the body. And without the body, as Jay said, without a body, it's really hard to get somebody on murder. So, because you don't know if the murder actually happened. So it's really hard to prove
you don't even need to have the body to murder charges, but you have to have some kind of indication that
somebody died, a crime scene, that violence happened or something, or find the person's blood. We don't have any of that. Jay is correct.
There's absolutely nothing there.
The prosecutor has taken Jay's considered opinion into consideration and has decided to drop all charges for now and proceed later. Based on the fact that they think they're close. I mean, something happened, but of course, without a filing, we're not going to know. I mean, I get the filings, I can find them, but we don't know what they're talking about as far as why they believe they're going to have the body soon.
There's one thing that stood out to me in that entire article, even though I was giggling and laughing, going, he told you.
I know he couldn't wait to say, I told you so. He's been good, though. He hasn't been rubbing it in too much.
They have yet to talk to his daughters. Did you catch that? It stated that at this point, they still have not talked to his daughters.
Well, but there was preliminary discussions with several of the daughters, because with the daughter that had the boyfriend that was at the house the day that she went missing. That conversation happened, but they haven't got a deposition under grand jury. But they did get police interviews, so don't mislead them. There were investigative interviews. Sorry, okay, there were interviews done with both daughters, extensive interviews in the first few days. However, they have not gotten them to give affidavits for trial. No. Another reason they probably wanted to postpone for now.
Everything about this, like I said,
I know it's messy. Listen, everything about it is unique. I have never seen a 143-page arrest warrant. 104, like I'm telling you, like this is why I followed it, because
it's 143 pages of circumstantial bullshit.
All right, he said it. All right, you feel better? You feel better? You feel better? Okay.
And the last update we got for you guys, I don't know if you caught Claire's video, but freaking nut job mom has been cleared to stand trial.
Yes, I did put an update up that Lori Dave Vallow will stand trial. And so the trial date is set. Like, she gets arraigned. She's been arraigned. I think she gets arraigned Tuesday. I believe Tuesday, if it did, yeah. And then if it didn't already happen this Tuesday, because I've been busy, forgive me. But the trial will proceed, because remember, they wouldn't sever it with Chad. They kept it together. So he was also waiting to stand trial, because she was not. Because in Idaho, you don't get a defense of insanity. You don't get to plead that guilty by insanity or anything like that. You just go there and wait until you're competent to stand trial, and then they bring you forth. Yep. So, and that's what happened.
Yeah. All right. So there's all the updates. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be covering the autopsy report. We'll try not to get too gross, as we try to keep it intellectual and talk about some certain things through there.
Yes.
And then next Sunday, I'm not sure what time yet. I'm not sure what we're going to go over next Sunday, because I'm kind of going to toss it. I'm going to talk to Claire later on during the week about where to move from here next. So
what to move, for the following Sunday. Yeah, we'll see. Try to find a date. In the meantime, anybody, I'm going to put up a poll on the back of my community channel about the best time to hold a roundtable for murder minions. Days of the week, weekends, evenings. We got to go by Jay's schedule, but let's at least get something from all of you that want to participate. You can actually even contribute inside the Discord in the chat area of Murder Minions, any of your thoughts about it and what you'd like to cover. Or also, since Jay and I will be talking, should you like to put in your thoughts about what other things you'd like to look at about this case before we get to theory, please speak up. Okay, that's what it's for. Go in there, chat, leave us notes. We're all in there at different times. It's not a busy place. You're not going to find a crowd in there, but you can leave your comments and people will get back to you, and we'll try to do the best we can. But I think that's the best way to go, right, Jay? Is to find out what further information you would like to go over before we get to theory. And then, of course, I'm sure Jay has a lot of suggestions too. He likes it. He likes this timeline stuff. I'm upset about the DNA. I am livid. I am livid at the lack of evidence. I really am. It's like, no wonder it's not solved. It's just a big mess. A big mess, this whole thing. All right.
So thank you, everybody. I still don't have an outro. So whatever.
Shall we sing? Shall we sing them out? Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
We'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll get you an intro.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Bye, guys.